Are wondering, should I contact my ex on Valentine's Day or not? We're going to talk about that in this video, and stick around because we're going to be covering some specific strategies that you can use based off of where things are between you and your ex as we get closer and closer to February 14th. But first, my name is Clay Andrews. I'm with modernlove.life. If this is your first time here, please do me a favor by considering subscribing to this channel down below. And while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button because it helps support this channel. All right, so I know that probably a lot of people are looking for some sort of blanket statement when it comes to contacting your ex on Valentine's Day. But if you have watched some of my other videos, you should know that I do not believe in one-size-fits-all generic advice. What we need to do is we need to feel into the situation and understand what's happening in your specific situation before we start making any sorts of big moves. That's one of my big frustrations with other advice out there, such as specifically the no contact rule. A lot of people will tell you that you need to use no contact whenever anything happens, right? If your ex contacts you, use no contact. If your ex doesn't contact you, use no contact. If your ex is in a rebound relationship, use no contact. If your ex says they don't want to get back together, use no contact, right? And trust me, there is a time and place for using no contact, but it is not all the time. So what I want you to do is I want you to feel into your situation and to understand what's happening in your specific situation. Okay, so back to Valentine's Day. If things are actually pretty good between you and your ex, that is to say the two of you are on good terms, you're talking, you're engaging in conversations, you're able to move down to that emotional level, you're able to have significant and meaningful dialogue, but maybe you're just not back together yet, either because it's still a work in progress or because there's maybe a certain block or something like that, but you're still in a pretty good spot, then yeah, it would totally make sense to contact your ex on Valentine's Day in many cases. Possibly even getting your ex a gift or agreeing to do something like going out on a date or something like that. Absolutely, totally could make sense. However, I know that that's not where everybody is right now. So with that being said, let's talk about some of the other options out there. Now, if things are kind of shaky between you and your ex, maybe you're in communication with them, but the connection isn't that great. Maybe you've had some, back and forth, one step forward, two steps back, two steps forward, one step back kind of stuff going on where maybe you get into arguments sometimes, maybe you have great times together, but you're kind of in flux. Then this can be kind of a tricky thing, and most likely it's not going to be a good idea for you to contact your ex on Valentine's Day, at least not in a romantic sort of way. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, we've talked about this in our video from a few days ago. You can go ahead and check that out up there if you missed that one. But you don't want to be relationship focused when it comes to interacting with your ex when things are in a very fragile state. Now, Valentine's Day is a unique holiday because it is a relationship focused holiday, unlike something like Christmas or maybe other holidays that are definitely a big deal. Valentine's Day has this filter of, okay, we're going to be doing romantic stuff. If you interact with somebody on Valentine's Day in a meaningful sort of way, then it's generally viewed as a romantic gesture. And you want to be careful about this because although it can go over well, it can definitely be very risky if things between you and your ex are not in a stable, strong place. The last thing you want is for your ex to believe that you are just interacting with them because you want to get back together with them and you're not interested in their emotional state, where they're coming from emotionally, what their concerns are, and all of that. If the idea of being in a relationship, of getting back together with them comes first, and then understanding where they're at or what their concerns are or what their challenges, struggles, hesitations, etc. are, then it's going to come across as being relationship focused. And that's not a good thing, because that means that your ex is not going to be seen and heard. They're not going to feel a strong emotional connection with you, and they're going to probably pull back because they're going to think, okay, you just want to get back together so that you can feel better because, I don't know, maybe the breakup's hitting you really hard. Maybe you have some sort of agenda of, I don't know, being in a relationship or being married by a certain age or whatever. And I'm just a means to an end for you. And if that's the case, definitely not going to go over well. So if things are kind of iffy between you and your ex, then, the conservative approach would be to just not contact them. And that's probably going to serve you better the majority of the time than actually contacting them on Valentine's Day, but you're gonna have to feel into it. Then of course, our third option, our third possibility is if you and your ex are just in a really, really bad spot because maybe they're not talking to you, maybe they're still upset with you about something, maybe they might be in a rebound relationship and they're trying to actively discourage you or something like that. And if that's the case, then there's very, very, very little potential upside to contacting your ex on Valentine's Day in a romantic sort of way. Again, I know that sometimes you feel like you need to do something, make some sort of big move to try to save your relationship. And, sure, maybe you've seen people do things like this on TV or movies or other places, but this does not generally play out very well in real life. And that's because there isn't a substantial, significant emotional connection at play underneath this romantic gesture, underneath this romantic overture. And so I would not recommend doing that. So with that being said, what could you do on Valentine's Day? Okay, so if you are going to contact your ex, you want to really, 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 really make sure that if you do so, it's going to be connection focused instead of relationship focused. And in order to do that, you need to address the concern that's already in your ex's mind, which is like, why are you contacting me? Do you have some sort of hidden agenda? Are you just trying to get back together? Things of that nature, right? And so you want to directly address this by letting your ex know something like, hey, I'm not trying to force anything that's not there. Just wanted to say hello to you on this day or something like that. Okay, that's a little bit better, still kind of relationship focused because we are obviously acknowledging the fact that there was a romantic connection between our ex and ourselves. Although we are kind of like shedding some of that hidden agenda stuff by saying I'm not trying to force anything that's not there. Another thing that you could do is you can kind of make a joke out of the fact that it's Valentine's Day. Like, hey, don't take this the wrong way. Just was thinking about you today. Don't even think about trying to seduce me or anything like that. Something along those lines can kind of make light of the fact that it's Valentine's Day, kind of flip things around a little bit, and can kind of make it into like a little bit of a funny joke or something like that, which could potentially open the door for other connections. But I mean, overall, you need to kind of weigh the potential benefits against the potential risks of contacting your ex on Valentine's Day. So I know that it's a bit tricky, and I know that a lot of people are really motivated to try to do something, especially on Valentine's Day, but you have to kind of let go of that attachment to outcome and remember to focus on that emotional connection first and foremost, and then after you build up that emotional connection, then it can start to make sense to talk about relationships, to talk about getting back together, to talk about romantic overtures and gestures and things of that nature. So anyway, hope that helps you out. We may have some more videos on Valentine's Day as we get closer to actual Valentine's Day. But in the meantime, help this channel out by hitting that thumbs up button, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment down below. And if you want to learn more about what you can do on Valentine's Day, please feel free to check out our Valentine's Day playlist over here. Also, you may be interested in this video over here as well too. That might help you out as well. Anyway, this has been Clay. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time.